Hello there, and welcome. I invite you to settle in, get comfortable, and let the weight of the day begin to melt away. Prepare yourself for a long, perhaps monotonous story about some rather peculiar personal items left behind on trains. If you find it resonates with you, perhaps consider subscribing to the channel, but only if you feel inclined. As we drift into the first section, let us explore the odd clothing items people have forgotten. Trains, with their long, swaying journeys, seem to carry not just passengers, but a peculiar assortment of garments. Consider the time a bright pink feather boa was discovered in a first-class compartment. It lay abandoned on the plush seat, remnants of a night filled with revelry and celebration. One could only speculate the story behind it. A whimsical costume party, perhaps, or a spontaneous decision to dress extravagantly for an evening out. Another notable item was a single black sock, its owner surely baffled at its separation from the pair. It sat quietly on the floor, a solitary reminder of an otherwise uneventful trip, clad in a fabric that hinted at a soft, cozy life. Its story remained untold, lost to time and circumstance. As we continue, the thought of mismatched shoes comes to mind. A passenger once left behind a striking red left shoe, its counterpart missing. Imagine their surprise upon realizing that their journey home required a return to the train station to retrieve it, if they even bothered at all. The lone shoe, with its vibrant hue, blended into the many shades of the carriage, but stood out as a beacon of uncertainty. Then one could not forget about the peculiar assortment of hats that have found their way into lost and found boxes. From oversized sun hats adorned with daisies to woolen beanies, they each carry their own forgotten tales. The dusty top hat, perhaps, once belonged to an aspiring magician, eager to impress his audience before the day took an unexpected turn, leaving him devoid of his magical charm. And there lies a silk scarf, delicately embroidered, forgotten yet full of history. Its intricate patterns whispered secrets of travels past, covering the neck of a traveler who may have left it behind in haste. Instances like these beg the question, what could provoke someone to part with such cherished items, simply leaving them behind on an ordinary train? Each piece tells a story, though the teller remains unknown, drifting further away with each passing moment. In the rhythm of the train, peculiarities like these weave through the fabric of our journeys, where one might find themselves unexpectedly detached from the comforts they once held close. Throughout various train journeys, individuals have been known to leave behind a multitude of personal accessories that range from mundane to remarkably unconventional. In this context, unique accessories often capture the attention of train staff and fellow passengers alike due to their peculiar nature. For instance, it is not uncommon to find an elaborate collection of brooches, each representing a different region or cultural significance, inadvertently abandoned on the seat next to a window. The intricate designs of these accessories, which often feature the likeness of local wildlife or abstract forms, become the subject of low-key conversations among onlookers. Additionally, one might encounter an assortment of vintage eyeglass frames, some ornate with floral patterns etched delicately along the sides, left resting atop an empty table. These frames, devoid of lenses, suggest a backstory involving a person who perhaps had an affinity for aesthetics over functionality. Another frequent item seen abandoned is the handmade leather wrist cuff, characterized by its detailed embossing, which symbolizes various personal narratives of the individual who once wore it. Such items often elicit speculation regarding their significance and the lives of those who carry them. Curiously, these unique accessories linger, often collected and documented by train staff for potential return, though in many instances they find their way into the lost and found without resolution. Among the myriad personal items left behind on trains, the collection of uncommon bags and purses presents a peculiar subset worthy of examination. These bags vary significantly in design, material, and purpose, reflecting the diverse lifestyles and preferences of their owners. Notably, one might encounter an oversized canvas tote adorned with intricate embroidery, which suggests a handcrafted origin. This tote could have been used for transporting groceries or personal items, yet its presence on a train indicates a possible oversight by its owner who may have exited the vehicle without it. Another item of interest is a small metallic clutch, likely designed for formal occasions. The intricate clasp mechanism, which glints under the fluorescent train lights, exhibits both functionality and style. It raises questions about its owner's intent. Perhaps they attended a social event only to inadvertently leave the clutch behind in haste. Additionally, a faux leather backpack, worn and slightly scuffed, tells a silent story of daily commutes and academic pursuits. It is filled with notebooks, pens, and miscellaneous papers, indicating its role as a vessel for education. Equally fascinating is a brightly colored handbag shaped like an animal, which not only serves the practical function of carrying personal items, but also reflects a playful aspect of its owner's personality. Such whimsical designs often spark curiosity about the wearer's choices, hinting at a story that intertwines functionality with personal expression. Across various railway networks, a notable assortment of forgotten personal electronics continues to accumulate within the compartments of trains. Several examples illustrate the diversity of such items. Smartphones frequently surface, left behind on seats, often forgotten amidst the hustle of daily commuting. These devices range in model and brand, showcasing advanced technology that has become an essential aspect of modern life. Microphones, particularly those used for recording purposes, are sometimes left resting in the overhead luggage compartments. Their presence highlights the increasing trend of individuals engaging in mobile journalism or podcasting, making their absence on a train all the more peculiar. Alongside microphones, headphones, and earbuds exhibit a tendency to become separated from their owners. Many pairs, both wired and wireless, are found in various states of disarray, often cluttering the floor or hidden under seat cushions. Tablets also contribute to this phenomenon. Frequently misplaced, they serve myriad functions from entertainment to business applications. A multitude of tablets resided within train compartments, some contained within protective cases, others uncovered and vulnerable. Charging cables, once entwined with these devices, are equally susceptible to abandonment. Racing against schedule pressures, users often misplace the accessory, which leads to further inconvenience and frustration. These forgotten items remain as silent witnesses to the transient nature of human activity within the train's confined space. On a typical day, in the bustling realm of train travel, passengers often board trains carrying a variety of belongings, including but not limited to luggage, personal items, and food, It is not uncommon to observe a range of food items that travelers, in various states of distraction, inadvertently abandon within the train compartments. Detailed investigations into this phenomenon reveal a striking diversity of lunches that reflect both the creativity and the peculiar culinary choices of the general populace. For example, one might come across a meticulously prepared bento box encapsulated in a plastic container featuring an assortment of sushi rolls, pickled vegetables, and a dollop of wasabi. This dish, rich in cultural significance and aesthetic presentation, likely originated from a home kitchen adorned with various cooking implements. Adjacent to this, another curious case involves an unassuming paper bag containing an assortment of baked goods, including scones, cookies, and a half-eaten sandwich. The sandwich, presumably intended for consumption, exhibits signs of partial deterioration, indicating that it had been neglected for a significant amount of time. In stark contrast, a collection of cups filled with various beverages might be found scattered on the overhead racks, featuring beverages such as green tea, carbonated water, and an unsettlingly bright orange sports drink. These cups vary in size and design, often resulting in a disarray of labels and containers that create an unintended, albeit fascinating, assortment. The cups may contain residue lingering at the bottom, leaving behind faint traces of their previous contents. Among these residual remnants, one may also discover food items that are less traditionally regarded, such as packets of ketchup, mustard, and various dipping sauces that attendees typically acquire from fast food establishments prior to embarking on their journeys. Travelers, in their haste, occasionally neglect to retrieve their carefully planned meals, resulting in this peculiar tableau of abandoned cuisine. The varied nature of these forgotten lunches offers insight into the lifestyle and eating habits of commuters. The objects themselves, while unremarkable in their individual identities, collectively contribute to a narrative that speaks to the broader human experience of travel, sustenance, and the moments of oversight that life entangles within its intricate fabric. Amid the various items that travelers occasionally forget on trains, one category that seems particularly notable is that of unusual snacks and treats. Many passengers, in their quest for sustenance during long journeys, opt for foods that are often overlooked in everyday life. One such item is the fermented herring, known as surströmming in Swedish cuisine. This delicacy, encased in a can, releases a potent aroma upon opening, which can linger long after its owner has departed the train. Another curious example is the peanut butter stuffed pretzel, a combination that has gained traction in certain demographics, particularly among those who appreciate the contrast of salty and sweet. Yet it is not uncommon for these snacks to be left behind, often forgotten in the fabric of a train seat or concealed in an overhead compartment. The texture of the pretzel, crunchiness juxtaposed against the creaminess of peanut butter, creates a gastronomic experience some travelers find irresistible. Moreover, snacks such as dark chocolate-covered insects may also make their way into the hands of adventurous eaters. These treats, which include crickets or mealworms, are packaged in various formats and have garnered attention for their high protein content. Unfortunately, their unconventional nature sometimes results in the accidental abandonment of these peculiar foods as passengers prioritize more traditional fare. The continual forgetting of such items reinforces a curious pattern in travel behavior. Among the myriad of items left behind on trains, the realm of beverages contains some particularly peculiar examples. These items, often categorized as bizarre, include an assortment of drinks that one might not initially consider appropriate for public transportation. Examples include an unopened can of pickled vegetable juice, a product that has grown in popularity among niche health enthusiasts despite its strong odor and unconventional taste profile. Riders often overlook its pungent scent, leading to its abandonment in the overhead compartments. Moreover, another curious item is a semi-full bottle of chili-infused soda, an experimental beverage that has garnered attention due to its perplexing fusion of sweet and spicy flavors. The bottle often remains forgotten along with its unconsumed contents, which, due to carbonation, can create a mess if overpressurized during travel. Every so often one might encounter a carton of vegan eggnog, which, while a seasonal favorite for many, often finds itself deserted on benches and tables once the revelers disembark. Additionally, certain travelers leave behind containers of kombucha, a fermented tea drink that contains live cultures, which may further contribute to its potential for unintended odor. Such beverages, left unattended, evoke questions pertaining to the choices made by the beverage owners. On various train journeys, it is not uncommon for travelers to inadvertently leave behind a plethora of edible remnants or ingredients. These items, often forgotten in the haste of disembarking, serve as a testament to the variety of food choices made by passengers. One such ingredient commonly found abandoned is a half-eaten bag of dried lentils, which may have been intended for a healthy snack or meal preparation. This legume, known for its high protein content, is often packaged in resealable bags, leading individuals to presume they can return to retrieve them later. In addition to lentils, various spices are frequently overlooked. It is not unusual to encounter small plastic containers or Ziploc bags filled with turmeric, cumin, or paprika. These aromatic substances, designed to enhance culinary dishes, now lie dormant on the seats or in the overhead compartments, unattended and unused. Condiments also make their appearance. Packets of ketchup, mustard, and soy sauce, distributed with takeout meals, often find their way into the pockets of bags or luggage, eventually discarded when the traveler realizes their existence too late. Furthermore, fruits feature prominently among these abandoned items. Apples, oranges, or even bananas may be seen rolling beneath the benches or tucked into seat pockets left behind after a hasty departure. The state of these fruits, whether bruised or intact, could signal the urgency of the traveler, or perhaps a moment of distraction during the journey. Within the confines of train compartments, numerous items from the realm of recreation have found themselves abandoned by forgetful passengers. Sports equipment often surfaces as an unexpected collection of unclaimed objects left to languish in overhead storage or nestled beneath benches. Among these forgotten items, tennis rackets frequently appear, characterized by their elongated handles and wide heads strung with synthetic gut. Such rackets, once brandished with enthusiasm at courts, seem to lose their purpose amidst the clattering of train wheels over tracks. Occasionally, a single tennis ball may accompany these rackets, bearing the marks of numerous serves. Another interesting category of recreational items includes soccer balls, typically made of synthetic leather or other composite materials. These spherical objects, designed for kicking and juggling by enthusiastic players, may lay motionless on train floors, awaiting recognition from their original owners. Basketballs, often orange with black panels, also contribute to this unintended collection, though their larger size makes them more cumbersome to transport, thereby increasing the likelihood of their abandonment. Additionally, golf clubs, complete with carefully crafted heads and smooth shafts, may be left behind, possibly due to their awkward dimensions that challenge the limited space within train carriages. These clubs often reside in padded bags forgotten in the shuffle of busy commutes, potentially leading to amusing scenarios as they roll from side to side when the train navigates sharp curves. Amidst this ensemble, frisbees, lightweight and aerodynamically designed for distance, might also be found, their bright colors sometimes standing out against the dull environment of a train seat. Each of these items tells a story of recreation interrupted, caught in the limbo between destination and departure, yet entirely bereft of relevance in the day-to-day commute. Among the various recreational items that find their way into forgotten corners of train carriages, uncommon musical instruments present an intriguing category. These items, often overlooked by the average passenger, tell a story of both creativity and oversight. Notable example is the theremin, an electronic musical instrument controlled without physical contact. Its ethereal sound emerges from oscillating radio frequencies, which can evoke feelings ranging from nostalgia to discomfort. Due to its unique playing method, which requires the musician to move their hands near two metal antennas, it is often left behind, as its complex and fragile build may dissuade casual musicians from transporting it on public transport. Elsewhere, one might encounter an ukulele, a lesser-known variant of the ukulele, which features an elongated body and usually has 12 strings, instead of the standard 4. This instrument, while not commonly played